go.
What's up, guys? This is Spencer with 916 RV Rentals. Today we're going to be doing the orientation of our 2022 Flagstaff Microlite 25BRDS. So if you're getting this video, chances are it's probably a week or so until you go on your big trip. And first off, thank you so much for your business. Second off, I want you guys to know that I'm going to be here with you guys. Even when you're on your trip, I'm committed to make sure you guys understand how to operate this safely and to have a great trip. So we're going to start by going on the outside, and then the second half we'll go inside to go over everything. So up front here, we're not going to go over the actual hitching up to your tow vehicle today. We're just going to be going over the actual unit itself. So up here, this is a little cover, but you have your up and you're down on your electric tongue jack. You have a little light here on and off. You want to make sure that's off so it doesn't drain your battery, especially if you have this cover on. Sometimes you're not going to see that light, but it'll be on. Okay, here's your propane tank. So I'm not going to open it, but what I will tell you is if you do open it, make sure that you close this securely and tight so it doesn't blow off on your way home. Okay, it's really important. There's two propane tanks on here. Usually I leave them both on. They auto switch and they auto regulate. So if one drains, the next one will turn on. Okay, here's your batteries right here. You're not going to have to do anything with that. There is a battery disconnect switch which is right down here. Okay, so if that disconnect is off, nothing on the trailer will work at all. Okay, so usually if you're going to come pick it up, I'll leave it on, I'll turn it on and leave it on, and you won't touch it and you won't do anything with it until I get it back at my facility, then I'll turn it off. Here is, if you have an external solar panel, you can plug it in here. Okay, this trailer does have 200 watts of solar on board, which is awesome. It also has an inverter, which we'll go over inside. So there's your solar. These are your automatic stabilizers. These are not leveling jacks. They're strictly for stabilizing. Okay, so those go up and down. What I will say on these is they're expensive if you bend or break them, okay? So don't do that. It's just not fun, okay? Fortunately, at this moment, we haven't had any bend or break, okay? What you're going to want to do is when you go to get set up, this is the last thing you're going to want to bring down. Once you're all leveled left to right, leveled front to back, once your wheels are chalked, all that kind of stuff, at that point, right before you head in the trailer, you can bring down your stabilizer jacks, okay? Same thing goes in reverse. So when you're all done camping and all that fun stuff, you're ready to go home, first thing you're going to want to do is lift those stabilizer jacks up before you start moving the tongue jack or taking the wheel chocks out or anything like that. It'll make sure you don't bend them, okay? Right here's your pass-through storage. And here we have your leveling blocks. These will be used for in the front, over there by the tongue jack. You'll put them underneath. You also can use these as levelers left to right underneath your tires. If your campsite is not level left to right, you can use these. Other things that we have in here are these levelers. So these, it's a little bit more of an advanced leveling system left to right. It's also very easy. You only have to do it once. Essentially, what you do with these is you'll put them right here. Let's say this side was lower. This side of the trailer is lower. You can put it there and there. You can roll up on it until you're perfectly level left to right. Then I recommend putting your e-brake on in your car. Usually even have someone stay in your car, hold the brake. And then you'll back it with these guys. So once you're rolled up on there to the appropriate height, you'll wedge it in on the back. There's one more of these in the bag, okay? You'll put one there, and then you'll chalk the wheels. You have to chalk the wheels before you disconnect the trailer from your vehicle. You don't want it rolling away, okay? So you put these in here. I'm going to take these out right now, okay? You put this in here, you'll crank this down, and it'll wedge. I'll show you. It'll wedge these tires together so it can't roll away. It also stabilizes it for you. So you can crank it down pretty good and just let it sit there, okay? When you go to release it, flip the switch and release it, okay? So that's how to use these levelers, or the chocks as well as the levelers. So I'm going to go ahead and put these back right here. I'm going to put these back. So there's 2 different ways you can level it. You can use these ones, or a lot of people just like to use these. Really easy, just roll up on it, okay? Other things, here's your hot water heater. So you'll hear a little flame coming from this. There's some power here. It's your coax cable if you're going to plug into cable or satellite at your campsite. Here are the rear stabilizer jacks, extend and retract. So same thing applies as the front ones. Don't bend or break them. They're not cheap. Here's your outdoor kitchen area / prep area. So you can just open it, lift it up. One thing I will say is this can't be lifted up if this window is open. Okay, you'll see what I'm talking about when you go inside. But if this window is open, you can't lift this up. Okay, so in here you have your outdoor stove. Okay, you can pull these down really nicely. You got your stove here. You can fold out your windscreens. And then if you want to connect it to the propane, you got to take this little thing, the propane hose, and plug it in down there. And then there's a little switch to turn it on down there, okay? To actually ignite it, sometimes you'll need a manual lighter, and it'll take about 30 seconds or so to prime the propane to get it through. Okay. In here as well, we have our water hoses. So if you're going to have city water hookup at your campsite, this is what you'll use. Okay. So we have a 90 degree. Let's just take this to the other side. We'll go over it right now. So here's your city water connection right here. So not this one. This is for winterizing and putting antifreeze through the RV, okay? City water connection. It's not this one. This is for your black tank flush. We'll go over that in a second, okay? So what I like to do is put the 90 degree on here so it comes off nice, okay? You don't have to use it, but I think it works better and I think it looks better as well. This is your RV water filter. You can use this anywhere. You can have it go here. You can put it right off of the hose spigot. You can put it anywhere as long as you do use it, as well as the pressure regulator. So this just makes sure that there's, not crazy amounts of water pressure coming into the RV, okay? So make sure to use this somewhere in line on the water hose, okay? And obviously this is just your water hose here. This will go to the campsite that you're at, and then this will go here, okay? So pretty basic, not too complicated to understand there. I'll go put this back. We'll go over a couple more things. Okay, here's all, you got a lot of pots and pans and stuff like that. This is your, it's a griddle. This is actually an add-on. If you want to rent it, you can. There's a propane hose for that here as well. So this will plug into this other LP disconnect. You can see there's 2 of them. This one's for the stove. This one's for that barbecuer. It plugs in right here, and then this connects to the back of that burner, okay, back of that griddle in there. That griddle, it's designed from the factory to mount right here. However, I don't recommend it. It's not very stable, it's dangerous, and it could actually fall over and hit a kid or damage the side of the RV. So if you are going to use it and you are going to rent it, I recommend putting it on like a little fold-out table or something. So that's all that. And this, to close it, I don't know if I went over it, but you do need to press these down to close it as well. Okay, so I'm going to bring this down, close that up. Okay, good to go there. The back here, you're not allowed on the roof. That's already in the contract that you've signed. So don't get up on the ladder. Spare tire. There is a hitch. You aren't permitted to hook up anything or tow anything from this vehicle at all. Bike racks, anything, cargo carriers, unless you've been given exclusive permission from us in writing. And the reason being is because there's a lot of carriers and bike racks that are not designed to be on the back of an RV. The back of an RV has a lot of sway and it bangs around a lot. And so if you don't have a proper accessory, you'll end up damaging the fiberglass. So just know that. Inside your bumper here is your 3-inch sewer hose. So I don't really want to touch it for obvious reasons, but it is in there. And we'll probably go over that in a separate video, how to dump. But the very, very quick notes version is you're going to come over here when you get ready to dump. You're going to take that cap off. You're going to plug in that 3-inch sewer hose. You're going to turn it. It'll come out. You'll put it in the ground at your campsite or your dump station, okay? In the front of the trailer, there's a 90 degree adapter that'll make it so it'll go in the ground. Okay, it's a clear 90-degree adapter. They're in all the units, as well as some gloves. So you'll put on the gloves, you'll bring that sewer hose down and then into the ground with that 90-degree adapter, and you always want to dump the black waste first. Black waste is the waste that goes in the toilet, okay? You can tell which one the black waste is because the handle will be black, okay? There's a black handle there, there's a gray handle here, so you're going to pull the black, okay? You'll start seeing all the waste go out. And then at that same time, you need to make sure to put a freshwater hose connected to the black tank flush. Okay, extremely important. You have to have the termination valve open if you're going to have water flowing through here. If you do not, it'll pressurize the tank and it could cause a lot of plumbing damage. So while the black tank is open, okay, and draining, make sure to turn on some fresh water for about 3 to 5 minutes. It turns on a sprinkler system in the black tank, okay? And then once you're done with that, you can turn the water off here, close the black tank, and then you can open your gray water, which is a shower and sink water, and let that drain, okay? When you're done, just make sure to put everything away and rinse it off really easily. So there's all that. This is an outdoor shower. I actually have the key. I can open it up for you guys right here. So, boom, hot and cold water. So usually that's just going to be off. You can use it if you'd like. We did skip over the electrical outlet here. This is where you're going to plug in the power cable right here. I'll grab it right now. The power cable is usually going to be stored in this box right here. Okay. And I got a few different adapters in here. So this is your main power cable. You're going to plug it into here. Okay. The other side is going to plug into your power source, a 30 amp power source, okay? Either at your campsite or a generator. If you're going to use a generator, you're usually going to use this adapter, right? Well, here's your surge protector. So you put your surge protector on at all times. And then if you're going to plug into the generator, I provide you with this little twist lock adapter. Okay, it plugs into all of our rental generators and should plug into yours as well if you're using your own. Okay. If for some reason, you're at home, you're going to have the RV at home for a couple days, and you don't have the big power, 30 amp power, I also provide this little adapter so you can plug it into a standard extension cord at your house overnight. It'll allow you to turn on the refrigerator and leave it on all night without burning propane, stuff like that. So there's also just a standard extension cord in there. So put this away. In here, you have those gloves I was talking about. And then also, like I was mentioning with the sewer, there's that clear 90 degree that'll go in the ground. So put that in here. Okay, so we're going to close this. I think that's it over there. And here, right now, we've got our outdoor rug and then another little rug right there. So that's pretty much all we use this for. If you do use this outdoor rug, please, please, please shake it off. Don't put a really, really dusty, nasty rug back in the RV anywhere, even if it's not in this storage compartment. It makes it really difficult to clean. Cool. If for some reason you need to drain your fresh water tanks, there could be a few different reasons why you would want to do that. You wouldn't necessarily have to ever, but there is the freshwater drain. You just pull that little lever and it'll drain any water that's on board the just in the water tank underneath. Okay. Here is the other side of our pass-through storage. So right here, all we've got in here, we've got some of our hitch stuff, things like that. So that's all in there. You don't really need to do too much in there right now. Okay. If you're going camping and you're not going to have city water hookup, okay, you're not going to have any pressurized water, you're going to have to put non-pressured water in the water tank. You're going to have to fill your water tank via this spout right here, okay? So you just get any hose, and just before you go camping, you're going to have to fill up your water tank. You don't pressurize it. You just put the hose in there until you see it start bubbling out. Once it starts bubbling out, you know it's full, okay? You can also check the meter inside. All right, here's some lights. There's a light switch, so if you want to pan around over here, you can see the lights turn on right there. So on and off. Those are nice at night. You have your two levels, front to back and left to right. like I mentioned before, always level left to right first and then front to back. The reason why you do that is because once you unhitch your vehicle, it's impossible to level left to right. Okay, you need your vehicle to drive the trailer up onto something. As opposed to the front and back one, you can just use the electric stabilizer up front. So I think that's it as far as the exterior. We're gonna head inside. So obviously, front door, awesome. Okay, you can open it up. The screen will be attached to it right here. If you want to ever, disconnect the screen, you can do that. To bring the steps down, you just grab this handle nicely and then bring it all the way down. You need to make sure it doesn't bang up on the door right there. Okay, bring it down just like that. Okay, to adjust the stairs up and down, there's little levers on the side. It's kind of like a little trigger, like you're shooting a gun on each side. Okay, you pull it and these can come down, okay, on both sides. So I always bring them all the way in and then I let them come down until they fall right there. Okay, let's see, we'll go up one more. Okay, something like that. You don't want them too high because the door won't close. They'll scratch. You don't want them too low because they'll rip it out of the ground. Okay, so make sure to adjust those. We'll come in here. For the sake of space, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open the slide. Okay, make sure that you have a spotter when you're bringing this slide out and when you're backing the unit. Two of the most critical things I like to tell all renters. You're gonna get to a campsite. Everyone's gonna get excited. You're gonna have no idea what's over there. There's gonna be rocks, trees, kids, bikes, kayaks, cars. So make sure to have a spotter. Okay. In this case, I know my lot is completely open. There's no one over there right now. So I am gonna bring it out. Usually, I would also recommend that you open the window so you can see your spotter. But I'll bring the slide all the way out by holding the slide out button until you hear some sounds, and you'll immediately release it. Boom. Okay, done. All right. The second thing we'll go over is the awning. Okay. On this unit, you have to close the door a little bit to bring the awning out so the arm doesn't hit. Okay. So I'm going to bring the awning out. There's awning retract and awning extend. I can't tell you, I can't emphasize this enough. Extend is out, retract is in. Okay, extend is out, retract is in. Okay, at least once or twice a month, a unit comes back with an improperly retracted awning, where essentially they held extend the entire time and it started rolling up in on itself. And not only can it damage the awning, but it can also just be very dangerous. Okay, so make sure to extend when you want it out and retract when you bring it in. Okay, so I'm going to bring this just out a little bit so you guys can see. So it's going out. Okay, it's also providing some good shade. Cool, I'll stop it right there. In regards to the awning, okay, depending on how you booked, when you booked, and on what platform you booked, the insurance may or may not cover any damage to the awning. Okay, some platforms have exclusions that will completely exclude awning damage, and it would be out of pocket, and they're very, very expensive. Okay, that's also will be disclosed in the contract that you've signed. So sweet. I'm going to go over the other stuff here. So you have the Wi-Fi, which is not a thing. It's not activated. Okay. Also, you have your water pump. So if you do not have any water pressurized, like a city water hookup, you'll have to turn on the water pump. Okay, so you can turn the water pump on, and then you'll get some water pressure. Okay, if you turn it off, right there, there's no water pressure unless you are hooked up to a hose, like a hose spigot at a campground. Okay, this is something you don't want to just leave on all the time. Just turn it on when you need it and then turn it off when you don't. Okay, there's a gas water heater and an electric water heater. Okay, if you're hooked up full hookup and you have electric hookup and water hookup, I recommend just using the electric water heater. Okay, it takes about 15 minutes or so to get hot water. If you don't have electric, I recommend using the propane water heater. It takes, again, like 15 minutes. If you turn them both on, it's twice as efficient, and you'll get hot water in about 5 to 10 minutes. These are also things you don't want to just leave on. Usually turn them on in the morning or in the evenings when you know you're going to need hot water, and then turn them off. Tank heater, this is just stuff you'd use if you're winter camping in the snow, so don't worry about that. Here's your interior lights. Okay, here's your porch light, which is outside, your awning light, which is outside, and your step light, which is also outside. Okay, so right now I turned all 3 of these off and just the interior on. Okay, here's all your gauges, okay, to monitor your resources. Your battery, if you hold down battery, it's showing full. Okay, if you hold down fresh, it's also showing full. That means that you have a full tank of fresh water on board right now. So even if you drove somewhere that has absolutely no water, you have a full tank of fresh water that you could use with your water pump. Okay, black is empty. Okay, that's what it needs to read when you come back, after you dump the black tanks. Okay, gray, which is your shower and sink water, is also reading empty. All right, so that looks good. So if you have any questions, feel free to let me know on this. This is your solar controller. You're not going to have to do anything here. It just kind of lets you know what's going on with your solar. Unless there's any major issues, then you're not going to have to look into this. Here's your radio and your DVD player that hooks up with the TV up there. So I'm not going to go into that in full depth. You just got some drawers here, stuff like that. You don't need to worry about. We'll go over behind you over here. Here's a light switch for this area over here. It looks like the previous renters didn't know where it was, so they just turned them off up here. But there's that. I also mentioned earlier that this has an inverter. So what that means is this can operate this outlet and one more power outlet over there by the headboard without being hooked up to shore power. The way you turn that on is right here. Okay, you just press it once and it'll turn a green light on, which means the inverter is on. So right now I'm not hooked up anywhere. I don't have anything hooked up. I just have the batteries on board, and we're charging another camera battery right here. Okay, so it does not power all circuits on the RV. It just powers this one and another one. It'll be labeled inverter circuit. Okay, you also have some USB down there. I'm going to go over how to flip the bed down. Well, first off, these are recliners. Be super careful. These hinges are not heavy duty. Okay, don't break them. They're expensive. Okay, if I were you guys, I wouldn't even tell my kids about these if you have kids. So in order to bring this out, you just lift it and down. Super easy. And then to bring the bed out, lean up here, open that one, open this one, bring it down nice and easy, and then look over here. You'll see as I bring it down, you'll see it lock into place. You'll see it come out and then back in. Okay, what I like to do is on the way down, just to make sure nothing breaks, I like to let it out. I like to manually do it and then lock it in. Okay, I don't have a sheet on here right now for the purpose of the video, but obviously when you're going to put your bedding and sleep on it and stuff like that, just unclip this. Whenever you retract it though, please make sure to put those back on, because if not, it can bang around and break off the little valance there or mess up the window. So whenever you retract it, please make sure to reclip it. And then that actually that curtain goes up and down. You can just lift it up and down nicely. That's a really awesome feature of this trailer. Most trailers do not have front-facing windows. So to bring it up, you have to do the same thing. You have to unlock it and lift it up at the same time. And then you can let go about right there. Okay? And you'll go up. And then you'll lock these. Okay? Just like that. And then you lift up on this. And then grab this side or this side. Don't grab in the middle, because this will just fold down. So grab right here, and then boom, good to go. You have a bunch of storage over here. Right now I have the fresh linen for this bed. I have it right there. I just need to put it on. Other things, these are all blackout curtains, so you can just pull down on them, go up super easily. These are all frameless windows, so to open these, to get some ventilation, you turn them right to open it, and then left to close it. Pretty easy. We'll go over, here's a light switch here for this one. To turn this into a table, well, obviously if you were to make this into a bed, you would just move some of these cushions onto here and it would make a bed. Okay, if you want to turn this into a table, it's a freestanding table. So what you would do is you kind of put your foot there and pull it towards you and up. Okay, kind of towards you and up. It's not straight up, it won't work. Okay, and then before you travel anywhere, it does need to be in the stored position. So you flip the yellow switch and then towards you and down. Okay, I'm going to bring it out so I can put it away like that. I lift up here. Okay, cool. And here's just your trash can. I store it down here. Okay, storage. I think this is usually empty. Yeah, empty. This one also is empty. That's empty storage. Empty. Here I got a lot of plates, bowls, cups, stuff like that. And here, usually this is what it'll look like. So I'll throw in a few things of paper towels for you guys. This is the instruction manual for all the amenities on board. Here's all your cleaning supplies. So I'd say the most important ones are this and this. So before it's returned, all units need to be swept. Okay, the broom in this trailer is down here. There's two brooms. There's a little small broom and then a large broom. Okay, I'll open it up. Okay, there's the broom and then there's a Swiffer mop. Okay, every unit needs to be swept. Okay, at least twice, honestly. I mean, once isn't going to do very much, especially if you go to a dusty campground. And then mopped. I always tell people to use at least like 2 or 3 of these mop pads. One pad does absolutely nothing. 2 or 3 pads, you'll actually start seeing some improvement and it'll start feeling clean in here, okay? So I'll provide these. I'll provide all the cleaning supplies for you guys. There's also a little first aid kit down there right now. And then this, the multi-purpose cleaner, can be sprayed on anything and everything. And then you can wipe it down and clean it off, okay? There's no bleach in this. There's also like Lysol disinfectant spray, glass cleaner, stuff like that. So that goes over that. You can just lift this up, it locks into place, and then bring it down. I think this one you just, yeah, you have to lift up and then down on that one to bring it down. Okay, dish soap, hand soap, stuff like that. This is not a cooktop. Super important. This is not a cooktop, okay? Nor should it ever get hot, okay? So you always have to fold it up to use it, okay? And then if this is really, really hot, wait for this to cool down before you bring it down. If you don't, and I'm telling you right now, it's happened multiple times, okay? Despite people watching these videos, okay? It'll turn into a bomb, okay? And you'll end up replacing it and it's not fun. I don't like to do it. It's kind of just a pain. So in order to turn the stove on, turn it on to high or whatever temperature you want and just ignite it, okay? Same thing applies for here, but sometimes it doesn't always light in these RVs and you'll need to use a manual igniter if this doesn't work, okay? Inside the oven. You have all your knives there, you got your TV, and you have your remotes and stuff behind there, your microwave and your AC and the outlets will only work if you're on shore power, okay? If you're not plugged in at a campsite, you're not going to get your microwave, you're not going to get the AC, and you're not going to get all your outlets, except for you will get those 2 outlets over there because this has an awesome inverter on board. Okay, you have all your kitchen stuff. I'm not going to go through all of it, but you got your silverware, empty, bunch of gadgets down there. Oh, this must have popped open, but here's all your fuses and your circuit breakers. So if there's any power issue, look here, okay, and make sure nothing tripped or no fuses are messed up. Here's your fridge. Okay, this is a 2-function fridge, so it can operate on gas or electric. It's auto switching. So to turn it on, you'll click on. And usually I'll do all this before you even get here. It'll be cold before you get here, okay? And then right now I have it pushed in so it's on auto. So it's running off of propane because I'm not hooked up right now. But the second I plug this into a campsite, it would switch over to electric. So I'm going to turn it off for right now, but so there's that. If you have kids or, I don't know, crazy adults, just make sure they don't just yank on these, okay? These are plastic handles, okay? You got to kind of open it and then open them, okay? It's not a residential fridge where you can kind of rough handle it, okay? So, yeah, don't break these off. This right here is a little cupboard. Usually just have a little bit of, kitchen stuff up there. The water pump is in there. It's a useless cabinet you can't use. Here's a ladder. So I do ask that this gets put back properly, similar to how you see it right now. It's all marked out for you. You got 2 bunks right here. If you have large stuff you need to store, you can lift this up and lock it in back there. There's a little clip, okay? But anything that you store in the trailer that you're going to travel with in here needs to be secured properly. If not, it'll bang around, and that's really I would say more damage is caused from, you know, things just banging around in travel than kids or dogs or anything like that. So make sure to properly secure stuff when you're traveling. In here you've got your bathroom, super awesome. You got a nice window. You have your hand soap up there. Okay, right now the water pump's off, so you're not going to get any water pressure. If I were to go turn the water pump on, you would. To flush the toilet, you just press down. Okay, there's no water pump on, so it's not gonna operate right now. Okay, and then you have your sink or your shower. I might have to redo this one. We'll have to redo this. It's a freaking moth. What?
The whole thing?
No. Just this. I don't want the freaking moth flying out of the video. Is that all right?
Yeah, just start from the shower.
Yeah. Okay, so the shower here has this awesome feature on it called the shower miser. Okay. Okay, pause. I need to actually look at this. Okay, so the shower here has this awesome feature called a shower miser. It's like a luxury feature, okay? What I will say is that it's problematic, so don't use it, okay? Always keep this silver thing pointed down. If you do this, it's going to cause all sorts of problems if you're on using your water pump, okay? It'll induce air into the system and stuff like that, so don't use it. And then shower. You got your fan and stuff up there, okay? Also, you have your GFCI right here. So if there's any power issue, or maybe you didn't pop a circuit, but you don't have power somewhere, test this. Reset this. Make sure this works. Okay. Your light switch. I think that's it for the most part. If you guys have any questions, when you come and pick it up, that's the time you're going to want to go over any questions. I'll make sure you understand all this. You can also text me or call me with any questions prior to pickup. The goal of this video and all these orientations video is to get you and your family and your friends to the campground as soon as possible, okay? I'd rather you spend some time in the evening, in the comfort of your own home, going over, the trailer and all of its features prior to pickup. So that way, once you get here, we can get you hitched up, get the paperwork done, and get moving. So, thanks again for your business. I'm sure you guys will have a great time. It's very, very rare that I have issues on these trailers or have any damages and stuff because of amazing renters like you. And I really mean that. Like, I've got really good renters that take care of these units and keep them functioning very well. So, thank you.